How are you doing? My name is Lindsay, and I am with Perfectly Pastry. Who is Perfectly Pastry? We are a local bakery in Waterloo, Illinois. How is everybody doing? I am so excited. So today I have upgraded my lives again. Yeah, if you saw on my Facebook stories and my Instagram stories, my husband bought me an easel for my whiteboard. So it's taken some getting used to. It's kind of at an odd angle. So like I'm having to lean to read it. I don't know. But for a year and a half now, I've used like this toy that my mother-in-law bought my eldest niece. That's how old it is. And like I sit on the corner of my desk and I prop my whiteboard up against it. And like I've knocked it over a couple times in my lives and all these other things. And my husband was cleaning my desk up and he like moved it. And I'm like, what are you doing? He was like, what? I'm like, I need that toy. And he was like, why? And I'm like, I use it for my whiteboard. Like, you can't just take it. And so he was sweet enough and he bought me an easel for my whiteboard. So I was super excited about that. So this is my first live using it. Yay. If you guys are watching me live, use a heart. Let me know you're watching me live. If you're watching me on replay, use #replay. Let me know I didn't catch you live, but I did watch the replay because I greatly appreciate it. And if it's the first time you've ever seen any of my lives, well, drop a 1. Let me know. Like, girl, it's the first time I've caught you live. Thank you so much. I'm so excited that you are here. Alrighty. So I know that I am not the only one. My sister and I are so thankful that our mom is back from Ireland. I'm sure my sister is way more thankful than I am because, here I'm like, oh, it's been so hard these last few weeks without my mom. But like, let's be real. I didn't actually have to physically do the work. My sister did. And so thankful that she did. Thank you, my sister. Again, I know I've been thanking her like for weeks now, but you guys, she did amazing. And I don't know what we would have done without her. And seeing us sometimes I can be a hot mess. I was just like, I was ordering the supplies. Like I said, I ordered all of those powdered sugars and like we forgot carrots. Like for like 2 weeks straight, we forgot carrots. But my mom's back. So now that's her problem, right? Yeah. She's already like, I don't have this. Oops. I don't have this. I'm like, oops, sorry, my bad, Mom. Also, again, I want to thank Carla so much. If you stopped by the shop the last couple of weeks, or I guess, 2 weeks now, you guys saw Carla. She helped us out while our mom was gone. And again, Carla, we thank you so much. We could not have done it without you. So thank you to both of those ladies. All right. So I've got 2 things I want to talk about, like 2 main things I want to talk about today. One of them, I know I tell you guys, I won't put business stuff in my lives. Okay. I have some business things that I'm going to add to my life, but if you bear with me, I'll try to be super quick about them because I kind of nerd out about that. And then we're going to talk about the 10 things you didn't know about my mom. So we went over 10 things you didn't know about me. Last week we went over 10 things you didn't know about my sister. And this week we're going to talk about 10 things you probably do not know about my mom. All right. So first let's start with some tips. Okay. So the tips I'm going to give you, you can use in your business. You don't have to use them in your business. If you like making IGTVs and doing lives, like do it. I don't care. It's to each his own. I love doing lives. I do them all the time. All right. So my tip number 1 is to repurpose your Facebook lives. If you're already going live on Facebook, you are already creating video. Take those videos and do something else with them. We make YouTube videos with them. We make podcasts with them. And most recently, we have started making IGTVs. I actually have been making IGTVs for a while, but like I've totally leveled up my IGTV game the last week. I found some hacks that I was like, mind blown. So that brings me to tip number 2, which is actually something I just recently learned. IGTV has clickable links in the caption. Not only that, but unlike TikTok, you get a whole bunch of characters to put information in. So please be utilizing your captions. Really take that conversation somewhere and be using clickable links. Take your customer or your friend or whoever on a journey and have them do what you need them to do. Give them a call to action. Those links are clickable. So unlike posts, unlike reels, links are clickable in IGTV. Yeah. I know it's amazing. The last tip I have, and then I'll stop talking business. Okay. You can use hashtags, like up to 30 hashtags. So Instagram allows you to use up to 30 hashtags when you post on Instagram. IGTV allows you to use up to 30 hashtags. You should be using them. It is not like TikTok where you can only get a handful of characters, so you can only have so many hashtags. No, use your hashtags. It has been the best. I also have some tips on like how to format them and stuff like that, but I won't go over that today with you guys because like you might find that boring. But if you are like, I really need to know more, you can message me, like hit me up in the DMs. I'll totally tell you. But we also have a Facebook group. So we have a Facebook group for other bakery business owners. If you're wanting some of these tips and you want to talk, you want to ask questions, like hop in our group. The information is in the description. Hop in our group and ask those questions. I've got video tutorials in there. I've got like all kinds of information. I'll give you guys some templates that you can use to like convert those videos. Because if you know anything, like when you're recording, like when I'm recording like now on my computer, it's a horizontal. I'm like, wait, make sure I'm saying the right words. It's a horizontal video. Instagram likes vertical videos. So when you go over to Instagram, it doesn't convert right. And so I found this really amazing hack that I use now to like make the videos more appealing. So I put that in that Facebook group if you're interested. All right, fine. I'll stop talking business. Okay. All right. Let's get to the 10 things that you probably don't know about my mom. Okay. One of them is something she's actually just recently discovered about herself, as a matter of fact. So I got to get on my phone here. So not Snapchat. Bear with me here. All right. I have it on my phone. All right. So number one, my mom is afraid of frogs, afraid of bats. And she has discovered that she is actually extremely afraid of heights. So when we were younger, my mom like had this overwhelming fear about heights, really about my sister, who's kind of a klutz. I mean, we've talked about that, falling over balconies and off ledges. Like my sister was never allowed to go to like the edge of anything because my mom just had this sheer panic of that she would fall. Okay. So she thought it was because of Lacey and her clumsiness and all of those sorts of things. And then she went to Ireland and discovered there's beautiful mountains, beautiful cliffs, and then realized that, holy crap, she's afraid of heights. So that is something she's recently discovered, but she also hates frogs, hates them. I don't know that she's afraid of them as much as she just flipping hates them. And bats, like, I know bats is a weird thing, but like in her old apartment, like a bat got in her apartment and she was like, I'm so afraid of bats. And I was like, I didn't even know that. But yeah, like she hates bats, frogs, and heights. Yes. All right. Number two, this one, after hearing about my sister and I'm pretty sure that this one is not that surprising to you guys. Okay. My mom is certified to artificially inseminate cattle. Yes, you heard that correctly. I did just say that to you. I told you I grew up on a farm. I told you I showed cattle. We had like 101 acres. We had lots and lots of cattle, and we bred cattle. And my mom is certified. I remember her putting on those big old gloves and sticking her hands where they're not really wanting to go, and all of those things. Yes, my mom is actually. This is totally a side note. I have actually seen my mom deliver a calf in full like work attire. I'm talking like full suit jacket, suit skirt, because it was a skirt, not pants, like out there. So when you have to help a cow calve, yes, we're going to go into this. There's like this, I don't know, I was a kid, so there's like this circle chain thing that you got to use. Like I saw her put it in there and pull that baby out in like full like business attire. Yeah, crazy. I know. Yeah, total side note. There, you got a bonus you did not know about my mama. Okay, so yes, she is certified to artificially inseminate cattle. So there you go. She is 40-hour hazmat trained. She worked for a company that did hazmat cleanup for years. And so, yeah, I remember when I was a kid, I remember when I said I was nerdy. I remember when I was a kid, like I went in full hazmat gear for Halloween one year because I thought, so like there's a book, I don't even remember what the book is called, but it's this thing that we used to do because we used to travel back and forth to Texas and Missouri because my family lived in Missouri. And we would take the hazmat book and we would drive past all the truckers and look at their placard and then find the codes and look at what they're carrying and what hazmat materials they're carrying. Yeah, it was like a thing. So I was like totally nerding out when my mom did this job. And so yes, I went in full like hazmat suit. So my mom is 40-hour hazmat trained. And I always found that to be so exciting. I really wanted to do that when I was a kid. Like I thought it was the coolest thing. I did not do it, but that's what I wanted. My mom has a Class E chauffeur's license in Missouri. Yeah. So before joining Perfectly Pastry full time, she was a food truck driver. Yeah. So in that job, it required her to have a Class E license. And so she actually has a Class E license and can drive those big old food trucks around and park those bad boys. I can't even parallel park. My mom, because my mom lived in the city, that girl can parallel park like a boss. She drove a van, or I guess it was really a minivan, so I better rein that in a bit. She drove a minivan and still parked that parallel parking. I'm one of those people when it comes to parallel parking in the city, I'm like, well, looks like we'll have to come back another day because there's nowhere to park and I can't parallel park. So sorry guys, I canceled the trip. Like I cannot parallel park. And she'd be like whipping that thing in everywhere. And I'm like, how? There's not enough room. She'd be like, watch me. I was like, oh my. Yeah. So yes, she can drive a food truck. Yes. I'm telling you all kinds of tips about my mom. So something about my mom that you might not know, she prefers the ocean to the mountains, which is kind of hilarious because when she went to Ireland, she didn't realize how many mountains were in Ireland. She was like totally blown away by like how many mountain ranges there are and stuff and like how tall they are and all of that. And as much as my mom loved going to Ireland, my mom is an ocean person. Like mountains are not her thing. She went on a trip to Colorado once and she's always told us since we were kids, like, I'm not a big fan of mountains. I think I'd rather be at the ocean. And so it's kind of funny that she goes to Ireland and it's like all these mountains. Obviously there's oceans and stuff like that too, but like she was a little surprised by that, especially seeing as, you know, she's an oceans gal and not a mountains gal. So that's funny. I'd love to find out. Are you guys, do you love oceans or mountains more? I'm an ocean person. I hate driving through the mountains. So I probably just really don't like the mountains. I live in Florida. So obviously I'm a bit of an ocean girl. So I'd love to know in the comments, like, do you love the ocean? Do you love the mountains? What do you prefer? All right. Something that you probably don't know about my mom, and I'm going to, what I wrote is not what I'll read to you guys. My mom is like amazing at pool, like could hustle people at pool. She's been playing like in the bars and stuff like when she was younger and stuff like that. Like, and my uncle, they have a pool table and he's always like trying to get my mom to partner up with him when they do pool things, and she's done tournaments and stuff like that. So yeah, my mom, oddly enough, is amazing at, you know, pool, like billiards, pool. Yeah. So, my mom used to water ski like a lot. I've never water skied in my life. My sister's never been water skiing in her life, but my mom did it all the time. My mom and my aunt all the time when they were younger. I don't know why, but I find that so weird because like I don't know anybody who can water ski besides my mom. And my mom, like I can't even imagine that. I've never seen my mom water ski. So like that to me is like the most mind-blowing thing is that my mom used to water ski when she was younger, like all the time. I think that's so bizarre. You might not find that so weird, but I know my mom, so I'm like, that's such a weird thing, Mom. Oh, okay. Here's another thing. My mom has like a crazy long tongue. I know that's such a weird thing, but like my mom can like stick her tongue to the top of her nose, but like her tongue is almost, it almost looks like a cow when it like, here I go. Throwback to my upbringing, right? When a cow like licks its nostrils, like that's what it makes me feel. My mom's tongue is like crazy long. Like I'm like, dude, like seriously? Yeah. So she can like touch her nose with it and stuff. She has a crazy long tongue. My mom gave me some of these guys. Okay. So like some of them I'm like, okay, whatever. Like I didn't even know that was a thing. I mean, I do know that her tongue is really long. It's just crazy. But she knows how to Texas 3-step. Like, I don't even know what that means. She's like not 2-step, but 3-step. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know what that means. I should have probably looked it up so like I could give you some like information on that. But I told you guys, like I grew up there. So it's not like I was going to the bars and like 3-stepping. I don't even know what that is. But she was like, yeah, I can 3-step, Texas 3-step. And I was like, all right, you get it, girl. So that'll be my thing about you. So if you know what that is, like raise your hand and be like, oh yeah, like it's whatever if you know what it is. I don't. It's so funny because here's a random thing, a random story. Random story time. So we live in Florida, right? My husband, he's from Chicago. And you guys, I've told you that I grew up in Texas and I am from Southern Missouri. And my husband and I were in Tampa at Portillo's just recently, and I take the kiddos to the bathroom and I come back out and I get in the car and my husband looks at me and he's like, do you know what barrel racing is? And I'm like, yeah, why? And he's like, what? And I'm like, what do you mean what? And he's like, I have no idea what barrel racing is. And I'm like, what? How do you not know that? And he's like, how do you know that? And I'm like, why are you asking me? So I guess like he pulled up to the window to pick up our food. And the person at the window was like, you know what barrel racing is, right? And he was like, no. So then he asked me, and then I was flabbergasted that he doesn't know what barrel racing is. So in case you are like living under a rock, because I guess people in the city don't know this, barrel racing is something that happens in the rodeos. It's like usually it's female, but you know what? It could be anybody. And you ride the horse and they ride them around the barrels and they're racing against the clock. Okay. Yeah, my husband did not know what that is. So I guess not knowing the 3-step made me think of the fact that my husband had no idea what barrel racing was. And that just blew my mind. I'm like, how do you not know that? Like, who doesn't know that something? He's like, why do you know that? I'm like, rodeos are a big thing in Texas. I'm like a big thing. Like, I've gone to stadiums to watch rodeos. Like, I thought everybody did those things. He's like, no, they don't at all. So there you go. My husband doesn't know what barrel racing is. Well, he does now. And then the last tip that my mom shared with me, which I thought was so weird. She once won a talent contest. She like won $300 in like a local talent contest for a dance routine. And I know that I'm like, that's so weird. Like my mom's other tip was that she can Texas 3-step, but now she's like, and I won with a dance routine. And I'm like, a dance? Like, I didn't even know you like to dance. Like, I found that so weird. Like, who wins a talent contest for like dancing? And she's like, yeah. I was like, I won like $300 doing it. And I was like, that's so weird. Like, I did not know that about my mom. I didn't know she liked dancing that much. Like, there you go. So I learned some things about my mom, and now you have learned some things about my mom as well. All right, you guys. So that was my 10 things that you probably didn't know about my mom. I'm honestly curious if like anybody knew all those things about my mom. I don't even know. Like, I would never have pictured my mom to like dance in the talent contest. I say all that, but one time my sister and I were going to do a talent contest and my mom like helped us come up with the dance. We didn't win the talent contest. So obviously, Mom, your dancing is not that well because we didn't win it. So, all right, you guys, if you're watching this, then you should be liking and following us on Facebook. Like, for real, hit like and follow us. If you're like, I'm sorry, I like your lives, but I'm just not a Facebook fan. But yeah, I totally get it. We're on the other social media too. Facebook is the only one that we're at Perfectly Pastry Bakery. All the other Instagrams, no, all the other social medias, we are at Perfectly Pastry. We would love you guys to hop on and follow and like us on any of the social media platforms that you like. Like I said, I have been loving it over at Instagram. I've been playing with IGTVs and I've been messing around with Reels. I have all kinds of tips about them too. Yeah, so I've just been hopping on over there too. So if you guys are hopping on Instagram and you're interacting with us, you're probably talking to me most of the time. Sometimes my sister gets on there, but it's probably me. As a matter of fact, now that she's in the shop, I'm like, I need some Reels. She's like, dude, I just want to rest this week. And I'm like, no time for a resty. I want some Reels. So I was like making her do all kinds of Reels. I have made a couple of them, but I was like, dude, chop, I need more. Anyways, all right, you guys, I'm going to hop off of here. Like I said, I am here every single week. I get on at 1 p.m. Eastern time. That's my time, which is 12 p.m. Most of the other people that watch me on Central time. Make sure you guys stop by the shop. My sister is back this week. We are at 201 North Main Street in Waterloo. We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 7:30 to 2, not to 2:30. I need to correct that. Look at that. What a slacker I am. I don't even have the right information going across my screens. How rude. There we go. Let's fix that. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yes. I was singing a TikTok in my head. It's a thing. I love TikTok when I work out. Like I'm not going to lie. Like when I work out, I'm like scrolling through TikTok. I'm like sending them to people. So if you ever get random TikToks from me, like it's probably because I'm working out. All right, you guys, I'm going to hop off of here and I will see you again next week. You guys have a wonderful rest of the week. Bye.